I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is Three Old Tech Dudes.
Dun dun dun. What happens when you go insane?
Right.
I mean,
So how you guys doing this week?
well,
Other than going insane, but that's been a long road.
You know, I rather enjoy
Short
insanity. I don't suffer from it at all.
Oh,
How's Timmy?
I'm all right. Well, you know what? We've been threatening to look at some of the stuff that was in the what I'm going to now call the N9 CMM collection
oh no.
from the house we recently were able to go through and save a bunch of relics. And I've got the first one out and got it on the bench and went through it and figure you guys might want to see it. So
We got.
this thing is a Variac. Do you know what a Variac is?
Does it Variac things? I don't
It
know.
does. Well, a Variac's technical name is a variable autotransformer,
All right.
which is a modification of what's called an autotransformer. Variac was actually a brand name that stuck to a common use of this type of transformer through the 20th century when it was marketed to electronics repairmen under that name. So it's like Kleenex.
Yeah, it's like
Tissues
Kleenex.
or Kleenex. So
Yep.
the devices became commonly known as Variacs from then on, even the non-branded ones. A Variac can vary its voltage smoothly across the range.
Yes.
In the case of 120 volt alternating current electrical systems, the common type, such as what we're looking at today, can vary between no volts and 135 or so most of the time.
They can actually step it up above the
They
incoming
can,
voltage.
as mine does, we'll discover.
And
So.
mine does.
Yeah.
Smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy.
Oh, it's pretty sweet. So an autotransformer, people are going, what's a transformer versus an autotransformer? An autotransformer is a transformer with only one winding.
Yes.
I always thought
Yeah.
Transformers were just more than meets the
Yeah.
eye.
So I looked this up and I did a little bit. Yeah,
You're trying really hard to stay on track.
I'm sorry. And it doesn't make for good shoots. Slow down, Tim. More than meets the eye. An autotransformer is a transformer with one winding. I already said that.
Yep.
The auto prefix. Do you know what that actually means? Auto.
Auto
other than
magically,
bots.
by itself.
It's Greek for self.
Oh.
So yes, by itself would be a use of that.
Them Greeks.
So that refers to not the thing being automatic in some way, but that it has a single winding coil acting alone because it doesn't have a secondary.
It doesn't need it.
It doesn't need it. An ordinary transformer has two windings of wire, a primary and a secondary winding. So
Seems very lonely.
it kind of does, but it has cool effects. So, you know, an autotransformer portions of the single winding of wire functions both the primary winding and secondary winding sides of the transformer. It's freaking magic. I don't know.
No, no, no. You're just. It's kind of like if your two coils are here, you're sliding the center. Point.
Yes. So.
Yep.
So yeah, it's it uses a sliding brush in the case of the Variac, as it's known, on a big knob. So
If you watch an old movie that has someone running a lighting board from the 70s earlier, you'll see them have these, the big things.
levers.
Those are Variacs.
No kidding.
So
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
if I get a minute or two, I have someone wanting to give me one out of one of our local auditoriums that is no longer, of course,
Would
being
be
used.
something to look at.
And it is
the heck
gigantic.
Oh, those are not
the
light.
coils like that big round.
Yeah.
That definitely is
Handle
something
lots
you
of
should
power.
possess.
So,
Oh boy.
but a
Sometimes,
Variac. Go ahead.
I'll go. I'm sorry. Sometimes we play a game and say, see if Nathan has it. He usually does.
Yeah, he's not lost yet. So.
No, there's a couple things I know, oddly enough.
Can't remember what they are.
Yeah, well, there's
Either key.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
a lot of little bits and pieces. I don't have, so I don't have a little chief.
He doesn't
true.
have a little chief.
He has
That's
access
true.
to one.
He does, which is a pinball arcade machine. I don't have a jukebox. Honestly, I wish I did. He has one.
I am not helping you put a jukebox down here in this basement. They're heavy.
Well, no, there's garage door access to
Do you
basement.
have a payphone?
I do not have a payphone.
Do you have a payphone?
I do. I also have a shirt with a payphone.
Do you have a Hammond organ?
No, I do not. I've moved one of those before, though.
Yeah.
Lucky us.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It weighs a ton.
No, we haven't yet talked about what a Variac is actually useful for in vintage electronics. I mean, I have some notes, but
so
what do you think?
In the lighting world, back in the day,
Yeah.
it was used to vary the light levels instead of using what's called a triac or 2 SCRs if you're only be picky in electronic terms.
It's a big dimmer switch.
Yeah, it's
In a lot of
basically a
ways
big
it really
lighting
is.
dimmer. And they worked really, really well back in the day until you overloaded one. And then it became a smoke fire show. But
So, you
Don't
know,
ask how I know that.
if you go to the flea market and you get some awful looking old Philco radio maybe with a wooden case from the 40s, and you're
that
like,
plays.
just gonna that plays. Don't just go shoving that thing in the wall. There's another trick, and you can use a Variac, and what's useful for is you can bring it up the voltage very slowly. Some guys are like, oh, you're cooking the capacitors to get them to reform. That does work sometimes.
yeah,
I have needed one of these because I didn't have one, and I borrowed them a few times and the like, but what's nice is you can start them really low, say 30, 40 volts, just let them sit for a little bit, and you bring up a little more, and you're looking for the magic smoke because it's not going to come as quickly at lower voltages. Or if you have a complete short, the one that we're going to look at today has breakers on fuses all over it, so fairly well protected. But that way, if you have some other big issue, you can see, hear, or smell it before, where it would burn up major components or things made of unobtainium.
yeah,
Or
no
just
doubt.
flat
There-
catch on piece of electronics, or just flat catch on fire.
Yeah.
So,
Which is-
can
you don't
shut it
fire
down and
bad.
Figure
Yeah.
out what's up before you get to
Yep.
full 110, 120 volts. So
Now, it does take some of the excitement out of it.
it does. So check out this old Variac that this fella built by hand, the case and all the stuff hooked to it many years ago, it looks like. So
Nice.
enjoy. All right. We've got here from the N9 CMM collection, the house that we recently were allowed to pick through and get items out of, we have what I think is a homemade Variac. Actually, I'm almost for sure of that. You got a voltmeter, you got an output, you got a switch, and you got a big knob, big healthy feeling knob too. And up on the top, you got a big drawer handle, and you got an ammeter. Got lots of fuses. Got one here, we got this one, we got a spot for another one. And on the back, just in case you're not protected enough, you have a circuit breaker. So, which probably also is the main power. And it's got what I am almost for sure is a power cord off of a vacuum cleaner. We're not just going to plug this guy in. That's pretty much suicide. So, I trust that the old boy used it a lot by the look of things. Notice a lot of the stuff he had said okay on it. So, he'd written it. I don't know if he checked it or what, but we're going to get in this fella. We're going to see what's up. Let's just check the fuses now. So here we got looks to be just fine. 10 amp, 250 volt. Alright, back in the hole with you. Daggone. There we go. We'll check this one. Curious about the one with no fuse. We'll have to get in there and see if it's even attached. This one here is also complete, and it's a 15 amp 250 volts, like stages of protection. And that doesn't have one in it, and then our breaker is 15 amps. I don't know if you can see that or not. 15 amps on the switch there. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take all these panels off and get inside. We'll start with the back here. Alright, let's have a peek in the back side here. What we got? Oh my. Very nice. Okay. Got a big Western Electric Autotransformer. That may be a problem. Depends on what it does, I guess. I don't know if I have a fuse to fix that. See where he's marked up the outputs here. Oh, he just got fuses in all over the place. Okay, that's good though. We'll go ahead and get the front off and have a look. I was just thinking, what if a guy had wrote some notes or something? Some of you may saw this earlier. Look down there. See that? What is that? Come on now. Is it anything? Oh, it's the same thing. It's on the back, but good to know. Got 4 and 5 in. So this is all his, where he's mapped everything on the top. And he's got a voltmeter. 4. That's the transformer itself. I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look for anything touching outside the case. It shouldn't. Things like that. I'll try to find a fuse for this, but I don't think I have any. I don't see anything dangerously scary in here. Like, you know, bare copper touching the case, etc. So I think we're going to slowly proceed forward. I'm probably going to just throw caution to the wind and give it a shot. We'll hook something to it, like a box fan, or maybe if I can find one, an incandescent bulb, and see if it works, basically. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. Such is life. Words of wisdom from Timmy. Okay, so I got to looking. And this particular power feed that we have here uses very small wire. That kind of surprised me. Like I said, in 9CM's granddaughter told me that, you know, he was a saver of electronic things. And so he has, you know, there were big boxes of power cords that were quite old and things. And this has that straight line feel that I usually only associate with vacuum cleaners. It's got the kind of like a little ridge deal so that it doesn't tangle well and things like that, and it slides past itself well. So he's got the hot line coming in to this fuse, and I cannot find a fuse for this or a holder. I'm sure I have some, but I've decided to go ahead. I figure if we got this then deal, and I've got this wire which is actually thicker on my alligator clip, we're just going to jumper this one. So, because it is clearly the initial fuse that feeds the whole deal. Now that makes me a little nervous, because why is this missing? And that's the first fuse in the system. Everything else is fused to the outputs. You know, he's got fuses basically in each step of his circuit, so just at a glance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we'll power this up, and I'll probably check the exterior for continuity just to be safe. I imagine it's fine. And then we're going to hook this box fan back here up to it, and first off we'll probably spin it and see if we get power on the voltmeter on the front, and see if the voltage, you know, does its thing. So just a disclaimer, if you don't know anything about electricity and find something like this, find somebody that does, especially AC voltage like this. It's got to be safe. So I'll throw in the typical, don't try this at home. We have applied power. We're going to throw the breaker here. Look, I didn't die. So we are powered. We're just going to spin around so we can see the camera. What happens next? Let's turn this all the way left, we'll assume. If this has any hope of living, the voltage will begin to rise as we turn the knob. Perfect. That's a great sign. Has a mechanical squeak right there. Should top out around 110. Oh, it'll go higher. Okay. So it's a true transformer. It'll convert over 110. That's fine. We don't want that, but yeah, let me get you in here. You can probably see it just fine, but so you'll go away. Okay, about 130-ish. 142. 130 volt. 120, 90, 100, 110. We'll call that where we want to be right there. 118 is about what my line voltage is here at the house, I think. So let's take it all the way back down. Shut her down. We'll get our box fan hooked up and give that a shot, see what happens. Okay, we'll get our fan set on high. We have no volts right now. Right? So if this works properly, as I begin to give it voltage, we should begin to get the fan spinning. Yep. And we're way under volt. Let's go ahead and give it 110. Perfect. It does not appear the ammeter is working on top. Show you guys that here. I don't know how many amps that would technically draw, so yeah, it's working. It's not working well, but basically it'll run under volt. So we got her down, what, 80 volts there. The fan slows down almost like it's on low. So excellent. Basically how Variac works. So what this is useful for is powering up old tube equipment. You know, you don't want to just throw a radio into full AC that's been sitting for 40 years that's tube based, for example. So I've got something I really want to test with this that also came from the N9 CMM collection. It's actually one of the first things that caught my eye when my friend from high school showed it to me. The pictures that that she wanted to give away the various items, so you'll see that very soon. Give this another spin. Don't want to hurt the motor, but shouldn't, I don't imagine. Low voltage is better than high voltage. Kind of hard to tell. It looks like it's spinning faster on camera than it is. It's just barely spinning. Kind of curious what the lowest voltage is it will start. Let's stop there. Let's give it, our lowest intent is 30 volts. Anything at 30? Nothing. 35 volts? Nothing. 40? Nothing. Oh. About 45 volts you start to get some action there out of the electric motor. And it's starting to try to spin up, and just almost like an old dimmer switch, except it can handle much higher loads. And there we go. So it looks like N9CMM's old Variac works great, and it doesn't shock the tar out of me when I touch it, so there's that. So we'll get that fuse replaced or some solution there, and you'll see it again soon. I bet you'll see it again a lot.
So that was cool, Timmy.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'm really glad it works.
Yeah.
That bit with the fan was cool, wasn't it?
Sure.
You hear that? What are you laughing at?
It's
Did that
just
scare you that
trying
much?
not to laugh.
Sounds like gnawing or
Oh, the cat's just a cat. She's clawing.
I didn't know the Asylum was actually in Nathan's house, but I think it is. It's time for echoes from the Asylum.
That's great to me.
That part of each episode where we hear from you, the viewer. This week we got one for you guys.
Awesome.
Who are we hearing from?
We are hearing from Retro Technology. Like
awesome.
all of the retro. No.
Like
all
my
of it.
entire
Yeah,
basement.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's all talking to us.
I like his name, though.
Yes, that's a good one. And this is on volunteering our IT skills to help start a new school.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We did that.
AKA what we did with our summer vacation. So, except we didn't have
I
vacation.
was going to say, I wasn't on vacation when I did any of this.
And Retro Technology writes, I think, guys, from the footage of the volunteer work at the school, you have discovered the kind of content that is interesting to the viewers of your channel. Unlike Keith, Our friend Keith, remember?
I remember Keith.
Who thinks we're three gossiping biddies talking about nothing?
Old.
Forget you, Keith.
Oh, that's okay.
I think your channel is interesting. It's so much fun. Keep it up, and may God bless you with a few 100,000 more subscriptions. We'll take it.
That.
Awesome.
We appreciate that retro technology. We've worked really hard to make you appreciate us retro technology.
And I love that name, too. That's awesome.
All of it.
Yeah, and you just look through, okay, it's like 80s, 70s, 80s, yeah. Taris.
No, seriously, thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
We would make a lot more content like that, but I don't know if we have time.
That 10-minute video took us
That's a 10-minute video.
3 months.
4 months of working hours and hours.
Oh my, yeah.
And not remembering to turn on the camera enough. So that's why there's so many still images in it.
So we were...
And most of that was not in air conditioning because the
that's
school's
just
HVAC system had been disassembled.
Yeah, exactly. So like we were sitting there doing stuff, and we're like, y'all are sitting there sweating. Why are you sitting there? Because it was like 100 degrees in that building. Because, oops, it's hot.
And then there was like air conditioning in one room, and guess what room the 3 old tech dudes found?
Oh yeah,
that was right toward the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah. We're all in IT, so server rooms that are like ice cubes. That's where
I don't think you guys have seen the
live.
server room since they installed. Well, you did right when they put the big air
big
unit.
things in
I was
there.
down there yesterday helping out for a few minutes, and
That
it's
thing
still
is-
there, except it now leaks all over the floor. So luckily, all the IT stuff's off the floor.
Yeah,
so.
nothing before. Yeah,
Oh, they're getting it lined
gotta
up.
be
But
good
at
for
least
the
it's
new
cold
carpeting.
now, so
true.
it doesn't leak a lot. But there's always a puddle on the linoleum in there.
Yeah,
so.
it's old.
Not in the server room. So yeah,
That's not a server room. That is a server closet, my friend.
yeah.
Well,
okay.
that's the server.
That's a
for the
closet for
building.
storage and a big rack.
Yeah, it really kind of was.
Something like that. Well, if you'd like your comments recognizing echoes from the Asylum, you don't get to choose it, but make a comment on our videos, and maybe we'll take the time to care what you think.
Man.
That's a nice way to put it. Timmy's getting punchy here.
It's
Drink
not
more
even
coffee.
that late yet. So
I know, drink more coffee, man.
I'm getting low. Got to, ration it at this point.
Coffee
well,
maker.
you
I'll
know-
go make you some.
We've reached that point in the episode where things are getting a little wavy, and I can feel the RF in my skull.
I'm gonna have to get like Dramamine or
It's a little
something.
warm.
Phew, no.
Dude, welcome to the waves.
What if I didn't want to be on the waves?
Tough. You're here.
Here I am.
Yep.
Well, this week,
Ride
need
it
a
or
canoe for
in this,
whatever they call wiping out. And
that's right.
surfer lingo.
Let me see. You know who did get in the waves?
Who got in the waves?
Thomas Judge, KD9TKK of LaSalle, Illinois, is a new technician in the world of amateur radio.
Nice.
Congratulations, sir.
Indeed.
Yes.
Definitely.
And enjoy it, and don't let that license expire in 10 years like half y'all do. Don't do that.
Yeah. Get involved, man. Get
Yeah.
involved with your local club.
Make friends
Yeah.
like these two knuckleheads.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 old tech dudes is the fault of amateur radio.
Yeah,
is, really?
Yeah, we actually
really
all
is.
3 of us met through ham radio.
Didn't you two know each other outside of...
through ham
I
radio.
really met him at the same time, though. Really through ham radio first. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so
You were young and I was old.
still that way,
Well, it's
he says playfully.
I'm going to have my wife come over here and beat you up.
I'll run away till I hit my head on the
Now, when
stairway.
she answered the door today, I was like, "Hi, Mrs. Lowry. Can Nathan play?"
Sorry, Sarah. She's right over there. Hey, thanks for watching this week, guys. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Help some guys out. We're just
trucking
old tech
along.
dudes. Help
Yeah.
us out. Till next time, I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is 3 Old Tech Dudes.
Later.
Later.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on 3 Old Tech Dudes. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more tech old and new, tinkering at the workbench, repairs, ham radio, electronics, computers, and more. Please like this video and share 3OTD with your friends to help us grow the channel. We tweet at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 on Twitter, and you can keep up with us on Facebook. Just search for 3OTD and look for our logo. Thanks so much for watching.